Hi there. I just thought I would do a video, and I just want to talk about the dream I had last night, whilst I can still remember it. Basically, to cut a long story short, I dreamt that pretty much a lot of people that I know, and then all of us, at the end of the dream, I went in this simulation, but I was the only one going in it, and that there was only me there. And yeah, and so I thought I would speak about that. You know, this is something I've been talking about for years now. Started off for me, you know, if you're new to my stuff, you know, it all began for me with an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24. I'm 33 on my birthday, so just under 10 years. And since then, you know, relentless knowledge of all different subjects, and yeah, and that's it. And one of the things I started to perceive was the simulation and how it works. This is what many scientists talk about now, right? They're even going into this, right? They're even doing research about this. And you know, that's all it can be, because if you think about it, everything has to come from nothing at some stage. From the nothing, this is what I watched a science professor talk about it on the internet. The science professor done a TV program thing, and he said that the nothing is basically aware. So that means that you've got one infinite awareness. So basically, that's why it's able to work with itself. And within that, you then have what you could call a perfect consciousness. And I think the reason it's perfect is because if you're dealing with infinity, then that means you have infinite number of times to perfect this moment or yourself. And I think that's what makes form, you see. I think that's what makes form. I think that we're going there, but we've already been there, kind of thing. That's hard to imagine when you first talk about it. But I think that that's what's going on. And yes, everything's electrical. Even if you look around you now, you know, this world is an example of it's a simulation. Right? And if you look around you now, everything's computers, and we can't run without the computer. And I think what I perceive all the time, and it gets stronger and stronger, as you awaken deeper and deeper spiritually, you start to perceive that everything is being run by a computer, a supercomputer. Some people say this computer lives in space. I think that there is no outward, because everything comes from nothing and energy. It means it's the same field. It means that there is no form, there is no other. You see? So it's a non-dualness, if that's a word, non-dualness. I don't even think that's a word. But that's what it's like. It doesn't exist. But as soon as you don't exist, this is what I've seen scientists say, that's what they believe is when you have a dream or an illusion. Because, like I say, you know, our bodies nothing is physical, as science has shown. And the simulation, yeah, everything's electrical energy, everything's electricity. And obviously, to coordinate it would have to be some sort of kind of computer to orchestrate the simulation. And the computer isn't any place, it's just here. It's always the computer is always apparent, right? It's always here, it's always doing something else. But like I said earlier, it's already been. You see? and everything is just a different, almost like different type of virtual reality. Like, if you look at science deeper into this physical realm, science will show how it's very electrical energies, how it's very simulation-like, right? And because I watched this Professor Science say in this program I watched a while ago, say there's actually a virtual version of our physical reality. You know, like a real virtual version. And so, yeah, I think that's maybe true. But yeah, if you look around you, you know, well, even in science, you know that everything's energy and everything's electrical and everything is like a computer, very much like a computer. If you look at what we are at our core, we're not even physical beings. We're just an infinite energy field within nothing. That is infinite. Because it's infinite, that means it's got infinite power. And so, you know, because it's got infinite power, that means it's got limitless power. Because you're infinite, you're limitless. Right? And that's why in that spiritual awakening, you start to realize that you are actually God. This is what happened to me just under 10 years ago. I said at the start of this video. A difficult journey at times, because you're going into this higher version of you, and it's not easy to leave the old you, because I guess that you don't want to leave that, you know. There's a lot of healing going on in this path. This was unexpected. I wasn't into religion. Like, someone says to me the day, read a Bible. I don't read any books. All the knowledge manifests from within me, right? Like in dreams and stuff like that. Like all this, you know, information. And we're never gaining anything from outward. We only think we are. The truth of the matter is, if we're the one infinity, that means that you are the book. You are everything that exists. But you're experiencing a life thinking that it's separate from you. When it's just a simulation experience, really. And, you know, and the simulation has different levels. And the different levels are to help you. For example, if I was to perceive a simulation when there was no one there to steer me, like I've watched different scientists, for example, I would probably think I was going nuts. And you probably might lose your mind. And I think that's how the simulation works. It's got different levels for different things. Right? Like the next stage from this, I don't think is heaven. I think heaven is a different place. I think heaven is for people, not necessarily Bible bashers, because they're not. Jesus Christ told there's supposed to be Bible people when he was alive. That's what they say. That he said that they wouldn't get to heaven, that sinners would get there quick before they do. And I can understand that because they're the biggest sinners going. They're not loving people. You know, I'm not going to go off track about the simulation here, but yeah, they're not loving people. And to get to heaven, you know, but it's still part of the simulation. Everything's part of the simulation. Because everything is a simulation. But to get there, you know, it's all about ascension. You know, and to access your ascension powers, you can't. It's not in a book. It's not in a Bible. I've got a book, a box here, the Words of Faith. It's all Bible stuff. I could read that till the cows come home. It's not going to wake you up. It's not going to spiritually awaken you. You only awaken once you look within you. And that's why I access all this information. The simulation is just part of it. I receive relentless knowledge all the time. And when I'm up in the morning, that's why I want to do a video, because I've got new knowledge. But back to the simulation. Yeah, and as reality gets more AI-ish, it's going to become more apparent that it's a simulation. Right? Of course it's a simulation. Everything's computers. Everything's energy. And even human beings are energetic, just energy decoded into what we imagine is a physical being or physical reality. But it's not physical at all when the science shows you. We can't deny science, because denying science would be an incredibly stupid thing to do, because science can prove us the real situation of that thing. So science is very important. You get many religious people that deny science. That's because science can disprove their God. Because science can prove how everything came from nothing. We can say anything we want, but the fact of the matter is everything has to come from nothing. And that knocks all religions out of the water, destroys them all. And I guess you've got to have a strong stomach to accept the truth, because the truth hurts sometimes, and the truth is everything has to come from nothing. And I think that all we really are is awareness, and it manifests itself in a simulated reality. And that's all we're experiencing. Like in this picture, you go through the tunnel, and what is it? It's nothing. It's like a dark nothing. Even black as a colour, so it's a something. So maybe you can never not have maybe you can't never have the nothing. Maybe there's always a something. Even though we think there has to be a nothing, maybe there's always a something. And then when we experience a something, because it's electrical, it simulates. You see? And like I say, if you got infinity, that would mean that you would have to run yourself an infinite number of times. You see? That would mean that the all form has run itself, everything has run itself infinite number of time, meaning that it's already been perfected. An infinite number of time, meaning that it's perfect. That's the thing. It means that it's all perfect. That everything is. You see, and this is just a part of my spiritual awakening, And my job, I know that I've got to share it, but I also know that there's only me in this reality. There is nothing other than me, because if I'm the one infinity, it means that all is just me. You see? Imagine if everyone was to look at each other as if it's them, as one. There would be no more racism. There'd be no more racism, no more division. Because all these religions and all the racism stuff and the countries, it's all division based. That's the name of the game, and so many sheep will fall for it. And then they fall deeper into the matrix, which is a part of the simulation that is basically a mind controlling thing. And the key out of the matrix, the key out of it, is to have that spiritual awakening. I saw someone post on Twitter the day, a stupid post. This guy said that the matrix is the devil or something, or if you find the key, you're in tune with the devil. No, you're not. Everything is within your heart center. This is proven by science in the Heart Math Institute. They talk about how to heal. Once you go within your heart area, that's the key out of the matrix. Right? The matrix is really yourself that has been programmed. Right? And the way out of that is your heart center. Right? And that's why some people say that when you have that spiritual awakening in the heart area, you're contacting God, but the God is you, because you're the one infinity. That has to be the case if everything came from nothing. You're everything. I know that I'm not really talking to anyone right now. I know there's no one able to listen to me apart from my imagination thinking there's someone listening to me. Because no one else can exist because there can only ever be one nothing. It's like that dream last night. I'm the only one in the dream, in the simulation, and I'm the infinite all. It's the same as you now. We are one. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, videos, etc., please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching.